Blue streak speeds by. Sonic the Hedgehog, too fast for the naked eye. Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic, he can really move. Sonic, he's got an attitude. Sonic, he's the fastest thing alive. Look out when he storms through. Sonic the Hedgehog, don't doubt what he can do. Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic, he can really move. Sonic, he's got an attitude. Sonic, he's the fastest thing alive. He's the fastest thing alive. He's the fastest thing alive.
Before we begin, I have a little something to let you all know. There are a lot of characters in this story, and I want to make sure that each person has a nice, unique voice. So before we begin today's new arc, Speed and Flight Part 1, I'm going to just quickly run over each of the characters' voices. I'm going to try and make sure that I give each character a bit of justice, and let's see where that takes us. That's for Sonic. Well, hi there, I'm Sonic the Hedgehog. No. What is it? Yeah, I'm Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah, there we go. Geoffrey? No, I'm Geoffrey, mate. How's it going? Fiona? Hi, I'm Fiona. I'm Dr. Eggman. Where's my mustache? We got Bunny. Well, hi, y'all. I'm Bunny. Wilson. Hey there. I'm Wilson. I'm Wilson. It's nice to meet you. Mandy. I'm Mandy. Nice to meet you. Huh. We got King Max. Well, it's nice to see you again there, Sonic. Mr. Awesome. Yes, nice to see you. And we have Nicole. Hi, I'm Nicole. Okay, now we can begin. Okay. Without further ado, we begin Story 3, Speed and Flight Part 1. 8 dark, heavy, eventful, exhausting months have passed since the destruction of Mobiletropolis. Since then, Sonic and the Royal Fighters have been fighting off Eggman's resistance long and hard. Wilson and Mandy have been trained to perfection by Geoffrey St. John. Fiona had made a quick recovery, and Bunny was having the time of her life, fighting Eggman robots and saving Mobians from the mad scientist's wrath. But that's another story. The past 8 months have been long and hard for the fighters, but they had made it through them all, and in the end, many of Eggman's evil schemes had been foiled and mountains of his robots had been destroyed. However, not everything had been in the Mobians' favor all the time. There had been a time where Eggman kidnapped Fiona and almost roboticized her again, and she was saved with moments to spare, but the experiments heavily traumatized the poor fox, so much she had nightmares about it every night from now. There had also been a time Eggman kidnapped 5 Mobian families to use as bait, and Sonic and crew ended up in a trap. They had escaped with seconds to spare, but by the time they could save the captured Mobians, Eggman had roboticized them all. As of now, Eggman has roboticized a great number of Mobians and built a good deal of robots. Then he released them all over Mobius, so there were robots everywhere. It was getting hard for the Royal Fighters to keep up with this, so King Max sent the word out to all the other continents on Mobius. Those places took in the warning and set up their own fighting groups, or joined the Royal Fighters in Mobiletropolis. However, despite the Mobians' best efforts, Dr. Eggman continued his quest for domination. It was going to be a hard battle to win, but the Mobians were determined to win in the name of their home planet. As of now, the Council of Acorn were discussing over the past events that had happened in the last 8 months. It's been a long, hard tussle, announced King Max, but despite the madman's most evil attempts, we have been able to hold him back for a while. But he still continues to battle, said Queen Alicia. He is desperate for world conquest, we can definitely say. He won't let our planet go without a fight. And even as we speak, somewhere on Mobius someone needs help, continued Max. Eggman's machines of death are all over the world. We have fighters in those places, but according to these reports, ... He pulled out a heap of paper containing classified information only he and the Queen were allowed to read. Not anymore. Some of our best groups still need an extra hand. So what ideas do you have, Daddy? Asked Sally with concern. We're thinking about sending some fighters from our group to other fighter groups to give them a hand in combat, said King Max. Are you sure that's a good idea? Snorted Hamlin rudely. What happens if we have too heavy a resistance to deal with and we can't do anything because our fighters are away? Shut up, Hamlin, snapped Max. How many times do I have to tell you? You speak when you're authorized to. We hate you. Go sit in the corner and think about your life. Hamlin didn't say another word. He just silenced himself and went to the corner and cried a lot. I won't be sending everyone away, said Max. We're keeping Sonic the Hedgehog here with us. So who are you going to send to help the other groups out there? Asked Sally. We're going to send Miss Bunny Rabbit to help the Royal Fighters of Megapolis, announced Max. And Mr. St. John will be going to down... I'm going to keep this in. And Mr. St. John, the Australian, will be going to Down Under to help the Down Under Royal Fighters. What about Wilson and Mandy? Asked Sally. They'll be off to Grand Metropolis, said Max. Sonic and Fiona will remain here. Sounds like a plan, said Sally. I hope Sonic's okay with that. Speaking of the Hedgehog, he had been outside the council room, listening to every word they had been spoken. Luckily, he was okay with the council's decisions, but he did feel a little disappointed that his new friends Bunny, Joffrey, Wilson, and Mandy were off to other parts of Mobius while he remained here in Mobotropolis. Still, there were fighting groups out there that needed all the help the Kingdom Acorn could offer them, and lending some of their fighters to those groups was the best method they had. After all, Joffrey was a pro in the skills of combat. Wilson could take on anyone and bring them down in a jiffy. Mandy was an excellent snooper and could find out lots of information without being detected, and Bunny could fight better than most people. Period. Even some of the males envied her strength. Sonic wished he had someone a little better than Fiona, though. She clearly was not suited for the world of combat. On her first mission, she had been captured, punched, knocked out, slashed, bitten, and came out worse than he and Joffrey did. And over the past 8 months, she hadn't been improving either. She was always the one getting in trouble. She was always getting defeated in battles, and she was always the one getting hurt. It was amazing the Four Pox was still alive. Hopefully Fiona would eventually find her strength and help Sonic and crew win rather than slow them down a lot. Then the door to the council room opened, and out walked Sally Acorn. Sonic, I hope you won't be too disappointed, but... I heard everything, Sal, said Sonic. And while it will be a bit of a downer for me, I'll be fine with my friends in different places around the world. I know they'll do their bit for the planet, and I'll do my bit for the planet. Yeah, Sonic. Sally smiled with affection. Very well, Sonic, she said. Then Nicole appeared, holding a small handheld portable computer in her hand. Your Highness, my computer's found Eggman's location, said Nicole. He's hiding in a forest somewhere in Green Hill Zone. Well, that's excellent news, beamed Sonic. I'll just go and get Fiona and we'll be off. Sonic charged out of the room, causing a brief wind that blew from behind Sally and Nicole. That hedgehog amazes me, said Nicole, flabbergasted. He amazes me too, agreed Sally. Sonic had dashed out of Castle Acorn, but the moment he did, he noticed an odd sight. Fiona Fox was already slinking off somewhere as if she knew what Sonic was going to tell her. Sonic ran over to the Red Vixen immediately. Yo, Fiona, he said. Where are you off to? Home, mumbled Fiona miserably. I've quit the Royal Fighter Service. Sonic thought his ears had fallen off. You'll care to run that by me again so I know I didn't imagine you saying that? He said. Fiona stood firmly and repeated in monotone. I quit the Royal Fighters. She practically spat every word out harshly. Sonic stared at her as if she had just done something stupid. Fiona's expression fell into a sad one and tears formed in her eyes. Why? Exclaimed Sonic. Because I'm no use to this team, sobbed Fiona. Look at what happens when I go on a mission. I get caught, I get you a lot in trouble, and I get beaten up. What kind of fighter am I? I haven't even once won a fight on my own! Exclamation mark. One of these days I'll end up killing myself or you, or anyone else! Exclamation mark. Little Fiona, come on, said Sonic, trying to put an arm around her, but Fiona smacked it away. Don't. Fiona, come on, me Hedgehog, snapped Fiona. Oh! It used double quotation, so it says, don't. Fiona, come on, me Hedgehog, snapped Fiona. You have to have a little bit of diction for that. You'll just try and make me feel better by filling me with false hope. Well, it won't work, so there. She wailed some more after that. Sonic didn't know what to say after that, so he just remained silent instead. Fiona sniffled and then put her hand on Sonic's shoulder. Goodbye, Blue Streak, she sniveled. And with that she ran off, crying her eyes out. Sonic just watched her run, not even daring to run after her. She was totally the ultimate beast in speed. Now, Sonic didn't mind Bunny, Geoffrey, Wilson, and Mandy going to another part of Mobius to fulfill their duties, but he did mind the fact Fiona just quit the team and ran off. Secretly, Sonic actually was developing a fondness for the young vixen, but now she's gone. Sonic would have to deal with the heartbreak and try his luck somewhere else. For now, he had a mission to do, and he wouldn't let Fiona's departure bother him otherwise. He would get in big trouble. Sonic prepared to run off, but a familiar voice called to him. Boy, wait a minute, and stopped him dead in his tracks. It was only Geoffrey St. John. He had Bunny with him. Then, hey guys, said Sonic. I guess you two are off then? Aye, mate, said Geoffrey. I'm off to Down Under to help the Down Under Royal Fighters. And I'm off to Megapolis. Do the same there, said Bunny. You want to say goodbye before we go, though. Y'all take care of yourselves, Sugar Hog. I will, boasted Sonic teasingly. And I'll see you two later. Same to you, said Geoffrey. Just beware your cockiness. Yeah, I can say the same to you, Geoff, chortled Sonic. Where's Fiona? Asked Bunny. Off somewhere? Well, she quit sadly, so we won't be seeing her again, sighed Sonic. Oh, that's too bad, said Bunny. Me and her got on very well. I had a feeling she would quit, muttered Geoffrey, due to how bad her bloomin' luck's been with us. Always getting in trouble and slowing us down and all that tosh. Can't we leave Fiona to the side now and focus on our missions? Asked Sonic, hoping to stop Geoffrey from degrading Fiona further. That's what's important now. Sure, mate, chuckled Geoffrey. Off to Down Under I go. See you later, he called to Sonic as he ran off to board a plane to Down Under. Bye, Sugar Hog, said Bunny, taking flight with her jet feet, flying off to Megapolis. This is the worst naming ever. I'm keeping this frantic. You don't have a city named Megatropolis and a city named Megapolis as two central cities in the same story. That makes no sense. I'm sorry. Bye, you two, Sonic called to them as they disappeared from sight. Now they were gone, Sonic finally ran off again. He looked on admiringly at the construction work going on to fix the wrecked city of Mobotropolis. Soon they would be able to go back to their old homes again. True, there would be some differences, but at least the Mobians that lived in Mobotropolis wouldn't be homeless anymore. Once the city was rebuilt, they were going to rename it New Mobotropolis, since the old one had been reduced to cinders and ashes 8 months ago. As Sonic continued running, he finally excited under the construction city and ran through the huge meadows that led to Green Hill Zone. Once he arrived there, he would search the whole forest for Eggman, and there he would destroy his base and make him pay for what he did to him and the other Mobians over the months. Watch out, Eggbrain, thought Sonic as he sped through the meadow. Sonic the Hedgehog is on his way to defeat you. Somewhere in the dense forests of Green Hill Zone, a squat dome building resided in the center somewhere. The dome had a logo which consisted of a black silhouette of Eggman's face in front of a yellow and red circle. Several pipes were built into the sides of the building. Mario tried to make a home there, but he couldn't sustain on the fumes. The building was surrounded by a stone fence that formed a rectangular shape around it. Robots stomped around the perimeter of the grounds, making sure nothing was suspicious and everything was going as normal. These robots were the ones with guns in place of hands and tail-like cannons that Eggman had used before. Speaking of the fat scientist, he, no surprise, occupied the dome building, and he was working away like mad on his latest scheme. Alonzo did small tasks for him, such as fetching him his meals and drinks, or helping him build and fix things. Right now, Eggman had 50 roboticized cages, and they were all empty, as he hadn't caught anything or anyone yet. He pondered around the room, wondering madly on where to find a life in the forest. "There must be some Mobians wandering around the forest," blabbered Eggman. "There might even be some who live here. Where can I find them?" Alonzo just sighed loudly. Why of all luck did he have to have such a dim-witted master? "Why don't you just send some search robots out into the forest to find anything?" snorted Alonzo. "Those robots are used for searching as well as combat, you know." "Oh, shut up, you titanium twit," snarled Eggman. "I'm thinking." "I can see that," scoffed Alonzo sarcastically. "However, you did have a good suggestion," added Dr. Eggman. "I shall send a squadron of robots to go critter searching immediately. Now, where did my mustache go?" "Of course I had a good suggestion," thought Alonzo angrily. "I'm the clever cogs here." "Oh, and your mustache is right over there." "Oh, thank you." Dr. Eggman pressed the button on the control pad. A hangar bay door in the rear of the building opened up, and out of it walked a small squad consisting of 5 robots. They were the many-gun ones. They marched in unison out of the building. They hovered over the other side of the stone wall and walked into the dense surrounding forest. Eggman watched this on one of his monitors. "Hopefully they'll find something," he said to himself, "especially that irritating twin-tailed fox kid I've been pursuing all month." "We'll catch him eventually," Alonzo assured Eggman. "He's only a kid, and kids can't do anything except run away like cowards." "I'm amazed his parents were a lot easier to capture," added Eggman. "I caught those 2 on my first try, and that kid has evaded me for a whole month straight. He still has that mustache I dropped from the sky. I can't believe him. How could he do that to my favorite mustache?" Alonzo nodded. "I hope that irritating Hedgehog doesn't show up and ruin everything again," said Alonzo, even though it was actually Dr. Eggman. "It makes me bare my beautiful teeth every time I think about him. But we'll get him this time, Master," said Alonzo, even though he knew he was wrong. "We'll get him." Eggman laughed with glee as he thought about the glorious day he finally caught and defeated Sonic the Hedgehog, once and for all. Meanwhile, Sonic had been running through Green Hill Zone for 30 minutes. He hadn't found a single thing since he had arrived, but he was determined to find Dr. Eggman's base. He wished he had brought Nicole's handheld computer with him, since it was a useful device for finding things, especially obvious things like giant structures. Nicole had built it some time ago to aid the fighters in finding Eggman, but since Sonic didn't have that computer, he had to make do without it. Then Sonic ran past something grayish-colored and stopped dead in his tracks. Did he just run past something interesting? Maybe he had run past something to do with Dr. Eggman. Or maybe it was one of his giant mustaches. Sonic ran back a little and stopped again. The gray thing he had run past was the stone wall keeping intruders out of Dr. Eggman's base. Sonic surveyed it with interest. "Ugh, stone wall," he said to himself. "What on Mobius is that doing in the middle of the forest of Green Hill Zone? Maybe there's something to do with Eggman on the other side," he thought. A slight smirk appeared on his face. "Only one way to find out. It'd be awesome like Sonic the Hedgehog." And with that, he stepped several paces back from the wall and then revved his feet up. Then he put on sunglasses like the cool guy he was and charged straight at the wall and crashed straight into it. He had run into it so hard he crushed his way through the wall. A huge hedgehog-shaped hole was now on the wall since Sonic had run into it. Pebbles and stones littered the ground and cracks formed in the wall. The robots on patrol heard Sonic smashing through the wall and immediately went to exterminate mode. They aimed their 4 guns at the speedy blue hedgehog and all fired at him. Sonic wasn't scared, though. He was used to this kind of reception from his enemies. Sonic leapt out of the way on the oncoming fire blasts. They all singled the grassy ground, its color now a pitch-black burnt color instead of its green color. The robots got mad and all fired in random directions. The area was filled with flying cannon blasts hitting this and that here and there. They hit anything but Sonic, as he just somersaulted, ran or jumped out of the way of the oncoming cannon blast. Sonic headed for the door of the base and lunged for it. One of the robots caught sight of him and fired at him. The blast skimmed at the edge of his bottom, causing the startled Hedgehog to yelp and clutch his booty. He hadn't felt pain like this before, nor had he even been hit before. Those robots were definitely getting better at their stuff. The robots aimed at Sonic and fired again. Sonic jumped out of the way, so the robots blasted the door down instead of Sonic. This alerted Dr. Eggman as he ran over the monitors to see what was going on. He almost jumped out of his clothes when he saw Sonic the Hedgehog run to his base, the guard bots chasing after him and firing at him. "Egods!" shrieked Eggman. "The Hedgehog is in the premises!" "He is?" shrieked Alonzo. "Where?" Before Eggman could answer, a door was blasted clean off its hinges by a spin dash attack from Sonic. Eggman almost jumped 10 feet into the air when he saw that. Sonic stood up straight and stared at Eggman angrily. "Well, it's good to see you again, Egghead," he said sarcastically. "So we meet again, Sonic the Hedgehog," purred Dr. Eggman. "We'll prepare to be blasted to sight, you miscreant of a Mobian." "Well, I'm flattered," joked Sonic. "You better hope those tin cans of yours can actually hit me." Then suddenly the 4 guard bots stormed into the room and circled Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic just gave a calm expression as their guns clocked. "Fire!" blasted Dr. Eggman. But inevitably, Sonic leapt out of the way the moment the robots fired their weapons. Sonic landed directly onto the control pad and pulled a cheeky face at the robots. "Come and blast me, Bolt Brains," he jeered. "No, don't!" Too late. The robots all fired at Sonic. Sonic leapt off the control pad and cannon blasts hit it instead of Sonic. The control pad erupted into flames and showered Eggman with splinters of debris and glass. Then an alarm went off. Sonic smirked at Eggman and ran past the robots and out of the door. Dr. Eggman began to panic. The base was going to explode in a matter of moments. Dr. Eggman eyed the emergency exit door he had installed in case he needed it. He yanked the door open so hard he almost tore it off its hinges and dashed outside. Alonzo zoomed out after him. Then the whole base erupted into a gigantic explosion somehow. Sonic looked over his shoulder to see what had happened and laughed to himself. "That's what I call going off with a bang," he laughed as he continued to run. As for Dr. Eggman, his face was full to the top of fury. The sight of a destroyed base that he owned was appalling to him. "I hate that Hedgehog," he snarled. "Oh, well, I guess it's off to the next base we go," grumbled Alonzo quietly. Alonzo turned around and trundled away. Dr. Eggman stayed where he was momentarily. "Don't celebrate too soon, Hedgehog," he said darkly. "I'll be back." And with that he walked off after Alonzo. He would begin his next game the moment he got to the second base he had set up in Green Hill Zone. How big is this place? The only sound that could be heard throughout the forest was pounding feet, and those pounding feet belonged to Sonic. He ran through the quiet and peaceful forest of Green Hill Zone, thinking to himself as he headed to the exit. "That Eggman doesn't know when to quit, does he thought. "However, I can't give up a real win and turn this place into a living hell. I haven't kicked his evil butt for 8 months straight, with and without friends, and it will not stop until it's defeated once and for all." And suddenly he was interrupted by the sound of a child screeching, "Help!" Sonic stopped dead in his tracks without a screeching halt. Sonic stopped dead in his tracks with a screeching halt. Just when he thought he'd finished here, he had made more help than needed attending to. Sonic ran off into the direction of the child's voice. He had no idea on what he would find, but he knew it would involve an Eggman robot or two. Sonic stopped in front of a couple of bushes and peered through them. His eyes widened at what he saw. He saw a little yellow fox cub with 2 tails, gloves, and red and white shoes, with his back pressed against a large rock and staring in fear at 2 Eggman robots. The kid looked terrified at the robots glowering at him ferociously. "Please leave me alone," whimpered the cub. "Don't hurt me. Those mustaches are so intense." The robots weren't listening. They bore down on the terrified fox cub, ready to snatch him up and take him away. "Hey!" yelled Sonic, catching the robot's attention. He leapt out of the bushes and spin dashed his way through both robots in the blink of an eye. They were reduced to smithereens. "Didn't anyone ever tell you it's not nice to pick on little kids?" scolded Sonic. As for the fox cub, he stared at Sonic with astonishment. He had never seen anything as cruel-looking as this before. Sonic turned around to face the little cub. "Hey, you okay, kid?" he asked with concern. I'm just fine, thanks to you," said the cub, smiling at him. "Thank you, mister." Sonic, announced Sonic, doing his trademark thumbs up sign. Sonic the Hedgehog, Hero, Mobius, and Royal Fighter. Why do they call you Sonic? Asked the cub. Behold, Sonic simply said. Then he dashed off in the blink of an eye with a whoosh. The club gasped and gnawed at the amazing feature. Then seconds later, Sonic tripped and hit the floor. "Dead! Dead!" he exclaimed, flopping around in a ta-da pose on the ground. Wow! Cried the cub in excitement. It's so cool! I've never seen anyone run that fast before. Yeah, thank you, said Sonic. That's why I'm called Sonic, if you couldn't tell. My name's Miles Prower, introduced the cub. Everyone calls me Tails because of my two tails, he wagged them proudly. And I can fly with them too, as he demonstrated this ability by twisting them around each other and spinning them around in a circle like a helicopter propeller. Then he flew a few feet off the ground. See? Said Tails. Sonic stared at him with a look of astonishment. He had never seen kids of any age or any kind do things like that before, and he found someone with an even worse voice than Nicole. This cub was clearly blessed with a great ability. Well, I've never seen a flying fox before, said Sonic with an impressed tone. It's pretty cool, Tails. Thanks, said Tails, lying back on the ground. I also have this mustache that I found. It's really cool, isn't it? Why, yes, it is. Then his expression changed into a solemn one. Unfortunately, everyone thinks I'm a freak because of my two tails and my flying abilities. You're just like me. We're both the same, you and me. But do they seriously think that about you? Exclaimed Sonic, unable to believe what he had heard. Tails just nodded glumly. Sonic then put on one of his serious expressions. Well, don't listen to those guys, he said. They obviously haven't heard the old, it's not what's outside, it's inside account saying. Tails' face brightened. Thank you, Sonic. That made me feel a lot better. You're welcome, said Sonic. So, why are you here all by yourself? Tails' face fell again, only this time it was more than just a solemn expression. About that, he began. I used to have a mom and a dad, some crazy fat guy with a mustache that looks just like the one I have, took them away and turned them into evil killer robots. Sonic ears pricked up at the mention of a fat guy with a mustache. Tails must be talking about Dr. Eggman. That black-hearted scoundrel must have roboticized poor Tails' parents. And even worse, how heartless could that bag of egg get? Tails sat down on the ground. Tears were forming in his eyes. Ever since my parents were turned into robots, I've been on my own with no one to protect me from harm. And also, my voice changed because I'm just a kid. I'm so alone, vulnerable here. I keep feeling somebody's gonna pounce on me every moment or so. Especially the robot things the mustache guy keeps sending, like the thing that almost killed me, you know? He began to cry. He held his face in his hands and cried into them. Sonic looked at the poor fox sadly. He felt really sorry for Tails. Sonic knew what it was like not to have parents, since he didn't have any himself. Sonic bent down on one knee and put an arm around Tails. Hey, Tails, don't cry, he said. I'll protect you if you want me to. Tails lifted his head out of his hands and looked at Sonic. Would you really do that for me, Sonic? He said in a quiet voice. Sure, said Sonic brightly. It's in the hero's job description. But you're gonna have to think of a new voice by the next episode. Got it. After hearing those words, Tails leapt up to his feet and grasped Sonic in a hug. Oh, thank you, Sonic, cried Tails. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever done for me. Okay, take it easy, bud, yelped Sonic. Tails let go of Sonic. Yeah, I'm telling you this, said Sonic in a serious tone. I won't always be there for you, so I'm going to give you some training tips so you can defend yourself when I'm not around. Let's start off with the basics, began Sonic. If you're on your own, you must never lower your guard. You must always be prepared for what's around the corner. Sonic, look out! Shrieked Tails. What are you talking about? Sonic turned around to see what Tails had seen. There were 3 Eggman robots exactly the same as the 2 that attacked Tails standing there glaring at the 2 Mobians. Sonic got clocked right in the head, but he was fine now. Sonic frowned at them and gave them one of his trademark grins. Yeah, so Eggman decided to give us a welcoming committee, eh? He said. Well, let's crack him wide open. We're going to make some scrambled eggs with this. And with that, he spun into his spin dash move and charged the robots. He smashed through one robot, and then he ricocheted off a tree and smashed through another one. Then he ricocheted off another tree and smacked the last one in the ground. The destroyed robots all collapsed in a heap. Sonic just laughed at them. "They're all too easy," gloated Sonic. "Sonic, help!" cried Tails. Sonic's quill straightened. He turned around and gasped at what he saw. There was Dr. Eggman in a hovering vehicle with arms attached to it. The vehicle was holding Tails in one of its mechanical hands. The terrified cub squirmed furiously, whereas Eggman just hooted with laughter at Tails' pitiful attempts. "Did you like that little distraction I set up for you, Sonic?" sneered Eggman. Sonic felt his quill shake with rage. "Let him go, Egghead," snarled Sonic. "No, I don't think I will," blurted out Dr. Eggman. "I've been after this little boy for a whole month now. I roboticized his parents some time ago, and now I'm going to roboticize this twin-tailed nuisance. But first," he snatches the mustache out of Tails' pocket. "Finally!" He puts on the mustache. It's a giant 6-foot cowboy mustache. "My favorite! I will now go, and if I catch you following me, I will change my mind and kill the boy instead." He stroked his 6-foot mustache. Sonic clenched his fist angrily. "You win for now, Eggman, but I will stop you and rescue Tails. Just you wait," he declared furiously. "We'll see about that," sneered Eggman, turning his Eggmobile around and hovering away, holding Tails in one of the vehicle's giant hands. Sonic just stood still and watched the fat scientist hover a good distance away, and then he ran off after him, noticing that even as he got farther and farther away, that mustache was still just as magnificent. Tails now makes his grand debut. Can Sonic save him before Dr. Eggman can roboticize him? Tune in next time. Reviews are welcome. And that last part was from the author. I'm not going to take credit for actually coming up with an end credit thing. But the rest of this is mine. Have a good one. Goodbye. Stay alive. Stand alive. Ha, 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 ha. Stand alive.
And I'm just realizing now I've been using the wrong microphone.